Oh, I just spent the last few weeks doing a thing which I don't normally do watching the videos of various rabbis, and all their teachings and gabblings. Some of it's very interesting. I must admit, I was surprised about a lot of things I was hearing, but it doesn't change my point of view regarding a person following a person for teachings. I know it's a traditional thing in the Jewish culture or for Orthodox Jews, etc., but there's too much in Scripture that's against following man's teachings. A man, there's words that God said. God promised that He would teach all the children of Zion, and no one else. In Proverbs it says, "Go to the ant, thou sluggard, and consider her ways and be wise. She has no seer, no over-ruler, no teacher, but yet she gathers all her meat and provides it in the summer." It's and in Ecclesiastes, I think it's Ecclesiastes, Solomon also points it out as an amazing wonder that the ant does this without a leader. Same kind of thing for the children of Israel. Each and every one of them shall be taught the Lord. No one shall say to another, "Know the Lord, know the Lord," because they'll all know me. This is not by following traditional man's teachings. Even though, see, if you're following a rabbi's teachings, he'll justify his existence, and if you try and veer away from it or converse with him about seeking teaching for yourself, he'll justify his existence. They're very strong characters as well, I've noticed, and they do like to gab. And it's not all according to Scripture and according to the law. It's referred to as like Moses, the oral Torah. Well, it's not, because there was only one servant, Moses. What these men are, rabbis, they're judges, right? And they're fathers in communities. It's got a lot of good use, but also, have you seen the trouble out there on the streets around the world, different places, and in Israel now? Because the Christians and Arabs they're picking on Jews everywhere, France especially. You've got the Jews in Israel reacting to it towards the Christian tourists, and the Christians are now crying and moping about it. Orthodox Jews out there, my brothers, I hate seeing this, because it could just wax worse and worse. But mind you, it'll have its good bits, because you'll be backed up against the wall, in a corner, nowhere else to go, and you'll have to call out on God with all the heart. In Jeremiah, God said, "If you seek me with all your heart, you'll find me." Hang on, where is it? Jeremiah 29:13. "You shall seek me and find me when you shall search for me with all your heart." But it's not with all the heart if you're following a man's teachings, rabbi or someone like that. You're not. You're leaning on what he knows. It's almost like God has blighted it that way. You'll get so much teaching, yeah. I'm not sort of disagreeing with that. But it's little things that you need to find, to let God teach you. It's best, what happened to me in 1996. I got to a point where I was so confused and being blessed and prospered by my faith, but also I mixed it in with men's teachings as well, mixed the two, and it didn't work, and I was left with nothing. I was left desolate until I cried out for myself 100%. I zipped this about anything to do with the subject of God, and I burnt all my men's literature about Jewish, Greek, everything, teachings, including Bibles with man's commentary. That went. I just kept one copy of a Bible, and that was the best thing I'd done. And God's shown me so much by Spirit, so many things. You see, you fear the Pope lands in the land. You fear it, and you start scorning him, and you start going against God here. You read Proverbs. The cheapest place of concourse, wisdom cries out from. Now, wisdom is God's Spirit, don't forget, right? God will use that in a Pope. Because you've been made, it's actually in Malachi. Because God has made you the people, His people, as because you've missed all this. You've made yourself contemptible, what is it? So God sends you the Pope, and you look at the outward appearance of it, and you scorn it, and hate it, and discard it, and reject it. But you miss what God's doing in it. He's trying to get you to see that your pride is what's keeping you away from learning. Look at the old fella, the well-respected rabbi. You see how God uses this to try and get to you. It's rabbis which muck you up and cause you to miss things and not get full teaching. But also at the same time, God will use one. Because you love rabbis, He uses a most respected rabbi in the whole land. 108-year-old, righteous, well-respected, renowned, even a prophet and healer, Yitzhak Kaduri. He had a vision, a meeting with Messiah. And he said, he wrote this down, Messiah's name, and he left instructions for it to be read out a year after his death. When he died, the year started, clock ticking away. All the Orthodox Jews around Israel was getting excited for this whole year. There was multitudes, there was 200,000 at his funeral. Now, all that expectation, all that boasting, all that excitement, only to hear when the name was read out by the son, he opened the note and he read it out to the nation as Yeshua, that's Jesus Christ. Then they pretended not to hear, and they left it and ignored it and rejected it. Why? Because you can't see it. You just can't see it. Unless you're looking and seeking these things with all your heart, you won't see it. So now, you've rejected God of Israel, right? And you have. So now, he says over Jerusalem the same words. I've held my hands out all day long to these people, right? But he's turned away his face and he's hiding, weeping in secret for your pride, right? There is his servant left. And he spoke over Jerusalem. He said, you will not see me again, O Jerusalem, until you say, blessed is he that cometh in the name of the Lord. But now your house remains desolate. And it is to this day. That servant is, it's not Jesus. He's not the one, blessed is he, that he was talking about, coming in the name of the Lord. It is the servant that was promised by Moses that he would raise from your brethren. And in a nutshell, it's Paul the Apostle. Oh yes, the one that wrote all the letters, the one that was despised, rejected of men. This is a mystery. I'm going to do another tape on this, give you more details of this. But it's Paul the Apostle. And you know, when the Pope came, Benedict, in 2009, in that May, he actually came fulfilling Ezekiel 38 as a cloud that covered the land. He wasn't just one man, he was many. But it just happened to be in the midst of a year, Jubilee year, that Pope Benedict had called to celebrate Paul the Apostle. Paul the Apostle's gospel has never been fully used or understood. You think Christianity set up by Paul's gospel? No. Or Jesus' words? No. Paul said even things like, when we have the bread and wine, Don't you know that we celebrate his death until he comes? You find on the cross when he said it is done, you find in Ezekiel 39:9, behold, it is come, and it is done. This is the day I spoke whereof. This is the day of the cross, the death, the sacrifice, till a time in the future when his children in Israel and scattered elsewhere around the world will meet Messiah in person, when you seek him with all the heart. This is a special time. Take it seriously. Grasp every detail on your own. Read all the prophets. It applies to you today. It's got to be done with all your heart though, and you can't do that under a rabbi's instructions and following. Okay? Thank you very much. I'll do some more of these little mini instruction tapes. Thank you.